Do you find tactics a bit of a struggle in FM24? Well, in this video, I go through with you how I select my tactics and what I choose to have for teams in the upper leagues and in the lower leagues. Let's have a look at tactics in depth. Okay, so here we are, folks. Welcome to episode 3 of the how-to series. Before we go any further, please leave a like on the video. It helps massively. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these videos. It really does help me massively. And it also helps me know that you're enjoying the content that's coming out on the channel. We're putting out content pretty much every day. I think it is every day. And let's get into the tactics. So when you first load up a tactic in Football Manager, you'll get this screen come up. So let's set up a tactic. Here are some common tactical styles that you can use as the foundation for your own approach. Though you have a full creative freedom here to explore and create your own personalised tactic. So you've got all of these preset tactics down here. You can load a tactic in. So if you've played FM before and you've got a tactic there, or you've downloaded a tactic from one of the websites that's out there, by all means, I think that's fine. I don't consider it cheating or anything like that. If that's how you prefer to do it, go for it. I personally prefer to come up with my own tactics. When I say come up with my own tactics, though, I would say have a look at the presets. So on here, you've got thumbs up next to 3 of them. So the game is telling us, our assistant manager is telling us that we're better suited to gegenpress, vertical tiki-taka or wing play. And it'll even say on there, if you hold your cursor over it, Pablo Villa believes this style to be well suited to the players in the squad. And it will say that for each of the 3 that have got a thumbs up next to it. You can, of course, go down to create your own style, but we'll get to that in a moment because that's not what I choose when I first come into a game. When I first come into a game, I say, okay, let's go with gegenpress. So it's a positive mentality. These are the in possession, the in transition and the out of possession options that are going to be ticked for it. You then click to choose a formation. And as you can see here, I already said in the previous episode that I'm probably looking at doing a 4-3-3, judging by the players we've got. And that's what it's given us straight away. The assistant manager is suggesting a 4-2-4. You can also do a 4-2-3-1. If you want to do any other tactics, just come down here. You've got some that are already given to you, like you can choose to do the diamond if you want. Or if you want to do 5 defender formations and you don't want the ones that are on screen, hit that and have a look at these and maybe do that one. You'll never see me playing that formation. We are going to go with a 4-3-3 wide. That is an advisable one to go with because it's what your assistant manager is telling you to go with. But you can choose one of the other formations if you want. So we're going to go with 4-3-3 and click confirm. Now up here, you've got this tactic and it's your primary train tactic. What you can then do is create a new tactic. So one of the other ones it's telling us to do is vertical tiki-taka or wing play. So let's go wing play. Balanced mentality. These are all the things that are left on. Choose a formation. I mean, this time it's telling us to go for a 5-2-3 defensive midfield wide. Again, you won't see me play that. That's telling us to do a 4-4-2. We're going to go with a 4-2-4 because this is something I've done with Aveley previously in season 1 of that save, and it worked pretty well for us. And click confirm. So that's a tactic we are potentially looking at doing. It's not going to be a primary trained tactic, but it will be trained in the background. I then create a third tactic and I then come down to create my own style. So for this style, we want to go with a 4-3-3 still. We do like the 4-3-3 formation. We're going to click confirm. So in the mentality box, I'll always go positive. I prefer positive. I don't like doing cautious or defensive or anything like that. I prefer positive. We'll go to in possession. Now we don't want to be wide because we've got 3 here. We've got the inside forwards cutting in and a striker up here. So I'm going to bring that down to fairly narrow. Pass on to space. I don't usually have that ticked on. Focus play through the middle. Passing directness slightly shorter. I'm quite happy with that. Tempo slightly higher. I'll leave that as it is at the moment. Work the ball into the box I like to put on. I do play for set pieces. That's all I'm going to add to the in possession tactic. Now, what's worth noting, if you're managing non-league like I am with Aveley, have as few of these things put on as possible. Don't overload it because the players don't have the intelligence levels at that level to actually implement what you want. Then you go to in transition. I'm going to have us to regroup and counter. Anyone that's watched my Aveley series, so if you've watched it yourself, some of this will look very familiar to you because it's what I'm doing with Aveley. We don't want to necessarily slow the possession down or distribute quickly. We're probably going to leave all that as it is and leave that as well. So in transition, it's just that. Out of possession, we want to have a standard defensive line. In my Aveley save, I've got a lower defensive line and a mid block. And that's actually led us to, so far in the season, I'm not going to say how far through, but so far in the season, one of the best defensive records in the league. I have get stuck on and trap inside. As I've explained in the Aveley series, these 5 here, I'm relying, once we've trapped it inside, for these 5 to actually take control of the ball. So we're quite happy with that. We can go back to our actual formation. Our goalkeeper we can have on sweeper keeper support. I'm going to have a wing backs on one side on support, on the other side on attack. I may change that around depending on what wing back is better on attack. And then we're going to have ball playing defender on defend for both centre backs. Now there is quite an urge in this year's game to use things like inverted fullback on defend and then put in, say, this guy as a libero on support so that he cuts in while he goes forward and all this sort of stuff. We're not going to do that with Aston Villa just yet. We're going to just leave them as more conventional tactics. We've got him on defensive midfielder. I think we're going to put him on deep line playmaker on defend. Then we can have a box-to-box midfielder in here and a ball-winning midfielder on support. I think we'll have him. And then obviously you've got box-to-box. Then we've got an inside forward. We will have him on attack because we've got this one on support. Then we can have a winger on support. But what we can also do is if you go into the player instructions for this and edit it, you can have him cut inside with the ball, which essentially makes him into an inside forward. It is kind of like an inverted winger as well, but we're having him as a winger on support. Then you've got your team here. We will then go to, so again, this will not be a primary train tactic. This will be our tactic that we're working on in the background over the course of this transfer window, next transfer window. We might be able to bring players in that can do that. If we have a look at quick pick and go to pick without restrictions, pick best 11, that will then show you what we're looking at in terms of this particular team. Okay. So they're saying this would be our team if we had no restrictions. It does obviously include players like Buendia and Moreno and Ramsey that are all currently out injured. Just going to change that because I'm not sure what's happening here. We usually have our star ratings over this side. I don't usually have all of that. There you go. That's what we're looking for. So this is obviously hiding our unavailable players. So this is bringing back the unavailable players into it. So Alex Moreno, we know already he's out for 3 to 4 months. He's not going to be an option. So Lucas Digne will be our left back. In terms of the players in this position, if you hover over them and hold your left click button and start to drag, there is a possibility it will tell you who the better options are for you to replace it. It's not actually doing it with that one for us. So I'm going to do it for, there you go, for Jacob. So over this side, we've got Philip Coutinho has been highlighted. They're saying he's better in that role. So automatically, that's telling us in order to do a 4-3-3, we are struggling for players on the right-hand side. Now, that is a worry because we are looking at doing a 4-3-3 in this position as well. We'll go back to quick pick best 11. Again, it's pretty much going to give us the same kind of team. So we've got Moreno coming out of that one. We've got Coutinho going in there. We'll release him from that position because we know he's not going to be playing it. Anyone that's injured, we need to take out of the... I'm probably going to move these players into my under-21s, to be honest. So they're just out of the squad completely. I don't mind the ones that are going to be coming back in a few weeks' time. Obviously not going to remove the holidayed players. So, yeah, we're short out here. So I will then go down here and I will put all of these into our under-21s. And I'll see you back here after I've moved them all into the under-21s. Okay, so welcome back. Here we are with our tactics screen. We've got our best 11 or 10 loaded up. I've also been fiddling about with our subs bench as to who... So in the Premier League, you'd get up to 9 subs. I think in the Champions League, you get up to 12. If you're on non-league, you only get 5, and you can use 3 of them 5. I would advise having a goalkeeper on your bench as well, because in previous editions of FM, I've never bothered with a goalkeeper on the bench because they never get injured, they never get sent off. You usually just go with the one that you start the game with. In this edition of FM, at least during the beta version, we did have goalkeepers getting injured, and I don't fully trust it yet to that not being the case. So we are still sticking with a goalkeeper on the bench. As you can see, we've got Callum Chambers as pretty much our only defensive option. So we've got nothing out on the left. We've got no real quality as centre back at the moment with the players we've already got out injured. We've got plenty of midfield. We've got Tillemans and Dendoncker we've got in there. Down here we've got Marvellous Nakamba. Finan Aziz we know we want to get rid of. So we're going to ask the agent about market interest. We're keen. There's a lot of interest in Finn, a significant number of clubs keen to place an offer. Okay, good news. Let's invite some offers in for him. Let's get him gone. And look at all of that. And their transfers as well. So hopefully we can get the offers coming in for him. Morgan Sanson, he's okay. In this area, we're playing a box-to-box and a ball winning. He's down here for that. If we click on ball winning midfield, box-to-box midfield on support, there's a couple of areas he's not really keen on. I'm probably going to leave him for now, just in case we struggle to get anybody in. Aaron Ramsey, I've got to admit, he's a player I'd probably be looking at getting rid of. He's not anywhere near what I want him to be, but as I said before, he does fill the criteria for the homegrown talent for Europe, so we're probably going to keep him. Jacob Ramsey we will keep because he's back from injury in 7 weeks to 3 months. Bertrand Traore, 6 weeks to 3 months. I'm probably looking at moving Bertrand Traore on, so I think we'll move him back into our under-21s. Others have been moved over. I've kept Courtney House for the moment because he's out for 2 to 8 weeks and he can play on the left-hand side as well as the centre of defence. So at the moment where we have nobody, he could be better than nobody, basically. So we could potentially have him up here, even though he wouldn't take part, obviously, in a pre-season friendly. So Finan Aziz, we've got listed. Wesley Moraes as a striker, I'm not interested in him. I'm going to ask agent about market availability. I'm keen. Up to half a dozen clubs keen to place an offer. Okay, good news. Let's invite some offers in. And there's some transfers, mainly transfer. We're not interested in a loan. We want him out of the club on a transfer. He's got a market value of 2 to 5 million, so it's not a great deal of money. If we look at Finan Aziz, he's got a market value of around 2.6 million. So we're not looking at bringing a great deal of money in for them. But in terms of wages, there's 6 grand from him. And Wesley Moraes is 28 grand, so that's £34,000 into our wage budget. So that's what we're looking at the moment. Now, we will go on to set pieces, and I'll show you what I tend to select. So we're being asked, what defensive marking strategy do you prefer? I prefer hybrid. What post do you want players marking whilst defending? I'll put near post. How many players do you like to leave forward when defending a set piece? We'll put balanced. How do you prefer the ball to be delivered from attacking set pieces? We're going to go with near post. That is also the staff preference as well. How many players do you want to leave back defending during attacking set pieces? We'll go with balanced. How do you want your set piece to be delivered into the penalty area? We'll go with in swinger, even though the staff prefers an out swinger. Take the set piece induction by all means. Like I say, you're new to the game. You need to know as much as you can. Take all of the inductions. We are going to skip it. We don't need to know about it. And that's basically us set up on this screen. I'll then click here. And we need to create another routine. So preset routines. The next one I want to, what are we doing on this? Oh, sorry, we're on defend. Let's go on to attack. So create new routine. We want the next one to be a far post in swinger. And then you get your frequencies up here. So the near post will have us more often. The far post will have us less often, and click OK. And then we'll do another one where you can have a short in swing. I don't know, you in swing a short corner, or you can do central. We'll select short in swing and we'll select that as less often as well. Basically, we want most of them to be the near post and just mix them up occasionally with these. I'll be completely transparent now. I am not a guru at set pieces, but this is how I tend to share it. But there's going to be plenty of videos out there on YouTube for you to look at if you want to look at set pieces in particular. So then we come back to our overview, and we're now happy with the tactic. This is going to be a primary tactic. This is one we're going to be playing in game. Now we need to look at these parts because I want this to be probably a box-to-box midfielder on support. This one to be a ball-winning midfielder on defend. We can then go to, well, we don't need to go quick pick, it's already decided what it wants. It might decide someone's a better fit for certain roles or whatever, but this is what we've got so far. Both our fullbacks are on support because both their inside forwards are on attack. We've got ball playing central defenders, sweeper keeper on attack. I think Emilio Martinez is actually quite suited to that. Deep line playmaker on defend in Douglas Luiz. And then we've got Ollie Watkins up top as a pressing forward. If you go into any of these, you can look at them and read down below what each role means. And it tells you as well, if you hover on support and attack, the difference between support and attack. Now we're going to go to our squad planner. And this is going to be very interesting because this will absolutely tell us where we're short and where we need more. So join me after this transition for a deep dive into our squad planner. Okay, welcome back. So here we go. These are our goalkeepers then. So we've got Emiliano Martinez and Robin Olsen as our two keepers. We don't really want Sinisalo. We made our mind up on that in the last one. So I think what we'll do is we will ask agent about market interest. We're keen to sell him. Despite the news, I can't see anyone making an offer right now. So that's not helpful. Will an intermediary help? We can hire an intermediary to sell a player. It will give you a bit of feedback on it. We'll cancel that for now. So we've got Thomas Smith, who's a continental agent, wants a 4% intermediary fee, can get us an offer tomorrow afternoon for 26 to 35,000. Kubilai Giza, tomorrow morning, wants an 8% fee between 35 and 40,000. I don't think there's really much difference in what you get from this. So I'm going to select that one because even though it's a less percentage, it is also a less fee, less of an expected deal value. Click confirm. Hopefully we will get a deal come through for him in game tomorrow morning. So that's him, someone we can take out of our squad planner. As you see here, our goalkeeper rating, it says a 3. Our team average is 2.5, and it gives you a rating for all of the positions as well. If we click on defensive left, I mean, Moreno, we know, is out injured for a long time, 3 to 4 months. We can take him out. Tyrone Mings and Courtney House, we can take out. I mean, Courtney House, we can probably leave in there because he is back in 8 weeks' time. So this is what we have at left back. At right back, we have Matty Cash and Callum Chambers. Matty Cash is also a central defender, so he's not guaranteed to be playing out on the right, but he is available there, so we'll leave him there. Left side is, now what I do with my centre backs is the ones I want playing on the left, I leave in on the left. The ones I want playing on the right, I leave in on the right. But I separate them after that because otherwise you're just duplicating. So for the left, we've got Diego Carlos. Reasonable left foot, very good or very strong right foot. Ezri Konsa is the same as well. Tyrone Mings we know is out all season. No point having him in there. Courtney House we can leave in. Callum Chambers we can leave in. So basically, we've got 2 centre-backs, 1 for each side. So if we just take Ezri Konsa out of here, Callum Chambers won't be playing on the left-hand side either, which means we've essentially got just the one, potentially Courtney House when he comes back. Over here, again, we remove Tyrone Mings. We remove Courtney House because he's on the left-hand side. We've got Callum Chambers. On this side, we've got Diego Carlos. So we'll remove him from this one, and that leaves Ezri Konsa and Callum Chambers. So Ezri Konsa, Callum Chambers, and Matty Cash, Callum Chambers. So we are very short of defenders. We need at least another one in here and another one in there. We definitely need one for left back. And we probably need one for right back as well. Unless we get another centre back, which then Callum Chambers could be more dedicated to this part of the field. In defensive midfield, so these are the options we've got in defensive midfield. So whoever this guy is he in our under 21s? Yeah, he's in our under 21s. We're not going to be playing him, and he's also, I mean, Aston Villa have got so many injuries. So these are the players that are available. We're going to take Callum Chambers out because he's already dedicated to the defence, so we don't want to overrun him as such. If we look at our tactic, McGinn and Kamara we know are starting in here. When we look at Tielemans, we know he can do both. He's perfectly adequate at both. He's probably better suited to this role here, but he can also play the box-to-box midfielder. He can also do the ball-winning midfielder at a push. But in terms of squad planner, we'll probably keep him for this role. So if we go back to the squad planner, Douglas Luiz we've already got in there. Yuri Tielemans we will play in this role as well. According to our squad planner, Tielemans could be better than him, but we'll leave it as it is at the moment. Boubacar Kamara, again, it's saying can do both parts of it, but he prefers the more tackling side of this role. You know, the half-back, the ball-winning midfielder, defensive midfielder, that kind of thing. So I'm going to remove him from this role. Leander Dodonka, again, prefers this role. He can do the ball-winning midfielder and defensive midfielder. If we have him up here, he can do the ball-winning midfielder and defend there, as well as the box-to-box midfielder. So for this role, Leander Dodonka, I'm going to remove. Marvellous Nakamba, again, he can do all of these. If you move him forward into this position, he can also do those. So I'm going to remove him from this position as well. So Douglas Luiz and Yuri Tielemans, we're pretty much looking at for this role. When you get into your midfield, I mean, look at all of these. I mean, let's remove Jacob Ramsey because he's out injured for up to 3 months. Let's remove this chap as well. Finn and Aziz we're looking at getting rid of. So we need to remove him. Same with Sanson, we'll remove him. Philip Coutinho, we're not looking at playing in the middle. If we look at the roles he does there, he's not really suited to a box-to-box or ball-winning role. So we can remove him from there as well. Aaron Ramsey, I mean, we'll probably leave him in there because he's at the club. I just feel he's kind of wasting a position, really. Aaron Ramsey, it is literally his homegrown status. He's trained at club that's keeping him here. Marvellous Nakamba, Dodonka, McGinn, Douglas Luiz we can take out. Yuri Tielemans we can take out. Not that they won't ever play in this area, but basically because they're already listed here. So we've got Kamara, McGinn, Dodonka, Nakamba and Ramsey for here. So we're probably okay for the central midfield roles. Again, we'll start taking people out of here. So we don't need Douglas Luiz. We don't need Yuri Tielemans. We're going to take Sanson out. We're going to take Finn and Aziz out. We'll take this guy out. Take Coutinho out. I feel like we've got more in that one than we have in the other one. So we've got 5 in there and 6 in there. So we've got Aaron and Jacob Ramsey. So Jacob Ramsey is the one that isn't really suited as well. But do you know what? We'll probably keep him as an inside forward on the left. So yeah, we'll take him out of this one for now. Plus he's injured. Then we move to the attacking midfield right. Buendia, we know, is out. Bertrand Traore is out for a few months, I think, as well. So we'll leave him in for now, but no, we won't. We'll take him out. So we've got Leon Bailey. He doesn't prefer the right. Oh, he does prefer the right, actually. Okay, so he prefers the right as a winger, not as an inside forward. He prefers the left as an inside forward. They're about the same, really, to be honest. Ollie Watkins, we won't be playing out, so we'll take him out. And this is the issue we've got. So Leon Bailey can play out on the right and may well have to play on the right. John McGinn, because he can play pretty much anywhere in the midfield, he can do a job. And this guy as well, I'm sure he's a guy from earlier on. So he's trained at club. He's a breakthrough prospect. We could potentially have him in, but for now we're going to take him out. We'll leave McGinn and Bailey there because they could have potentially do it. So Coutinho will be played out on the left. He's not going to be in the middle. Jacob Ramsey can come out for now. Moreno can come out for now. And Bertrand Traore we'll take out as well. We'll take him out. I don't really think... we'll leave Aaron Ramsey for the left because he can technically do it. John McGinn will take out because he's not going to play out there. Neither's Ollie Watkins. So again, we're down with Coutinho, Bailey and Ramsey. And if we're looking at playing Bailey out here, then... So we definitely need right-sided midfielders. We're okay for the left, but we urgently need the right. And then we look up front. We're not going to be having Moraes. We're looking at getting rid of him. Duran is out for 6 weeks to 3 months. We'll take him out for the time being. Same with Keenan Davis. We'll take him out. Cameron Archer will keep at the club and Bertrand Traore will remove. Now, what I will say is looking at this, we now need to also look at the homegrown status because we are in Europe. So we've got 1 trained in nation in Martinez, 2 with House, still 2 with House, 4 with Consat and Chambers, 5 if you include Cash. So we've got no trained at club at the moment, nothing in there. So it's 5 and none. 1 trained at club with Aaron Ramsey. Still 1 with Aaron Ramsey. So we got another trained at nation there and another trained at club there. So we are short of players trained at the club, which means we could be looking at our development squad for who we bring through into this part of the team. If we look at a full squad view, so this is what it's showing us at the moment, and yeah, definitely short out here. We're lacking real quality out there, especially if we want House to move in the middle. We need at least one other central defender. So if we go back to our actual squad and just filter those by positions at the moment, have a look down here. So that's telling us we've got 24 people. Moraes, we're looking at moving on. Finan Aziz as well. I mean, it's a bit late now because we've asked them to make offers. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is that we've got 24 with potentially 1, 2, 3. I mean, them 3 will not be included in our squad that we register anyway. So that's going to be 21 players. When we look, neither will he, so that would be 20 players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 11 players that qualify for nation. I mean, it's actually almost worth keeping that goalkeeper purely for that, but we're not going to. So if we take out him, so in terms of trained at club, I mean, we might even have to register Jacob Ramsey, to be honest. He's 7 weeks to 3 months. It might be worth registering him just so we've got a 3rd player at the club. And then with Ollie Watkins, so he'll be gone. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at nation with 3 at club. So we'll be fine for the nation side of it. We're 1 short effectively. So out of the 20 players that we'd be looking at registering so far, which you can go on to here, you've got your English Premier Division on that one. Clear the selection. You can do auto select as well, but I prefer to do it myself. And just select the players that you're looking at actually having in your squad. Now we have got wanted signs next to other players and we'll get to those shortly. So we're just going to select these ones because then this will tell us absolutely what we are looking for. Aaron Ramsey doesn't have to be selected because he is under 21. So in terms of the Premier League, we can leave that, but I'm going to tick it for now just so we know he's included as part of it. Cameron Archer, that's it. So we've got a 20-man squad. For the Premier League, we're fine. We don't need any more homegrown players. For the Conference League, and it won't allow us to do that yet, but for the Conference League, we'll need to leave 1 gap spare so that we can fill, so we don't register at all the positions, and then that, so we can basically buy 4 players is what this is showing us. So then when we go back to our squad planner, how do we get to what we had before? There you go. So if we go back to our squad planner, this has gone absolutely doolally. I don't know what's happened to it. We did have a graph over here. What has happened to our squad planner? Anyway, what we're looking at is we need... Yeah, where is our squad planner? Well, we'll confirm those for the time being because that's what we're looking at. Well, we've got a question. We won't answer that question, but this is all the... Okay, so I'll look at trying to fix this because for some reason it's gone completely kaput on here. And I have no idea why. If you've got any idea why in the comments, please let me know because... Oh, there we go. We've done it. Finally got back there. So yeah, goalkeepers we're fine. We need a left back. Potentially we need a right back. If we can't get a right back, we need to get a couple of central defenders in place because it's in defence where we are really short. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with a midfield area here. We need at least 1 person out on the right. And potentially a striker. So we've now got an idea of what we need in order to fill our tactic. The next job will be to sort out our scouting so that we are scouting for the positions that we need. And that will be in the next episode. So join me next Sunday, 2 o'clock for the next episode, which will be about scouting. Have a wonderful week and I'll see you next Sunday. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.